specific authorities are captioned above. Do you have that caption? Is the caption provided? They are referring to honorable members. Yes. What the order is saying.
For me, this has to be going beyond only asking for the receipt, because what kind of agreement is that? We need to even ask for the agreement. Where people are confiscated here and then sold. What kind of custom law is that? This is what I'm saying.
Normally, from our end, it is Office of the President that would normally give the approval for us to reimburse anybody from the timber proceeds.
Yeah, I think it's better. Yes, yeah, for me, this has, because, Chairman, the resolution was clear. It states that the permanent secretary of the Ministry of Environment is required to provide all agreements with the government of Senegal relating to the forfeited timber seized. And now the permanent secretary is telling you there is no agreement. Let's refer it to the IGP and let the IGP tell us what is happening. The other one is the projects under the Ministry of Environment, which we need to look into. What the plenary mandated us to do is to really inquire whether there was an agreement. So now we need to know why a payment of $50 million was done. So let's refer it to the IGP to avoid making any assumptions or concluding without evidence. Let's try to know why it was done. Then I think what we need to concentrate on now is, the other part of the resolution, which, really deliberated on the self-accounting projects. We need to inquire from the Accountant General and the Permanent Secretary, as to the level of disclosures these self-accounting projects do to both departments. So to the Accountant General, under the purview of the Minister of Environment, to what level do they report to you with regards to this self-accounting project?
Eight, and that has to do with the provision of all the agreements that have been signed between the government of the Gambia and that of Senegal relating to the timber that was seized. And that one is established that there is none. So Resolution 8 stands to be referred to the police for investigation.
The second part is there, the self-accounting projects under the Ministry of Environment. And a detailed list is given in 14C.
The second part emanated from the...
Look at 14C. Ministries.
14?
14C. Next page, you will see it.
Yes. Hmm? Oh, no, I'm referring to the resolution, yeah.
We are done with the resolution now.
Yes. No,
Yes,
resolution is asking for the agreement. Page 14C. The list of projects. So under that, okay. 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 Hmm. Yeah. That is 14C. Okay, Mane, take note of the 14C. Okay. The later. I think that falls under resolution 35. 14C seems that falls under resolution 35. Yes. Hmm? Resolution 35, that all ministries must provide to the Fpac on or before 20th September all projects under their ministries for both self-accounting and non-self-accounting projects and the people that are overseeing these projects.
Isolate them to more specific. So whatever is submitted for part here. So we want it in Minister of Environment for now. If we get to the account, what are the
So on that submission, we are yet to confirm which ministries have responded. It's only environment. Hmm. Resolution 17. Okay. Okay, let's take note. This is referring to resolution 35. So when we read there, we can look for the institutions that have responded. Now, resolution 9. Auditor General?
It's review of Exhibit 14 of the Ministry of Climate Change. We saw documents provided relate to 2020 transactions. The expenditure in question relates to 2019, amounting to 108,669,926.95. Details are below. You have UNNOP, that is 30,578,444.40. Nani supply, 14,975,000. China Zinzing, 13,116,482.80. Government du Senegal, 49,999,999.75. A total of 100, that's resolution 9. This gives us a total of 108,669,926.95. The authority to spend these funds from the sales of confiscated timber was not provided. In addition, please note that note the following queries in relation to timber proceeds are still not addressed. Query number 3.10.1, failure to seek approval to outsource revenue collection. Finding Section 19 of the Public Finance Act states, a public officer shall not enter into an agreement or arrangement for the receipt or custody of public money by an outsider unless the minister has first given authorization in writing for the agreement or arrangement. During our audit, we noted that the Minister of Environment, Climate Change and Wildlife entered into an agreement on 10th of January 2019 with the underlisted clearing agents to serve as agents, i.e. export coordinators, managing the exportation of wood from permit holders in the Gambia. One of them is Haji Baniko, HB, Sisoko General Trading, Clearing and Forwarding, Yanynar Procurement and Agency Services. These agents were required to facilitate the exportation of timber and collect a fee of $3,600 per container from each of the export permit holder, and shall remit these collections to a designated bank account as advised by the ministry. In addition, the agents levy a fee of $900 on each container in respect of cost of domestic and international logistics service. We noted that the request was made on the 25th March 2019 and approval was granted on the 1st of April 2019 after the contract was signed on 10th of January 2019. Query number 3.10.2, failure to provide the number of containers exported by agents. According to the agreement between the Ministry of Environment and Export Coordinator states, the agents shall remit collection sums to the designated government accounts every fortnight, weekly, and shall provide detailed account of the number of containers shipped. During our audit, we noted that the ministry did not receive information in respect of containers, a number of containers shipped, following the agreement with the export coordinators in January 2019 to enable it to verify collection remitted to the designated government bank account. Our external confirmation with the Gambia Ports Authority revealed that 2,393 containers of wood or timber were shipped during the period 1st January 2019 to 30th April 2019. We requested details of bank accounts, including bank statements, in which collections or proceeds from shipments are made, but this information remained outstanding up to the time of finalizing the report. As a result, we could not confirm total collection made and subsequent transfer of funds to the designated bank account. The evidence of number of containers shipped from May to December 2019 were not provided. Therefore, we could not confirm the total amount realized from the sale of timber. Okay. Thank you.
Transactions that were spent in 2019, they were not authorized by anyone, and they did not state any of those explanations here. And this amount totaled to 180 million that was spent but without authority. So the ones they're explaining here specifically the 2020 transactions.
Can you?
In conclusion, the auditors are saying no response was received from the Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs. Not so. Permanent Secretary. The transactions in 2020.
No, I can't comment a lot on 2020 transactions. Maybe from 2021, yes. Maybe the peers at that time. Well, there was no formal handing over, and
Yes. Okay.
Thank you very much. Hello. Thank you, Chair. Does those proceeds form part of the government's revenue?
Um, can I go ahead? Yeah. Okay. Timber proceeds, according to the documentation that I saw, was based on a sharing ratio between the government of Senegal and the Gambia. So which means, yes, part of it comes as part of government revenue.
Thank you very much. So where are government revenues supposed to be kept?
It depends on the agreement that covers the arrangement of the fund or the finances of that specific activity.
Understand. I think all government revenues should be kept at the consolidated fund.
Certain funds are designated for certain activities. So these funds will be or are marked to fund specific activities. So in that case, special bank accounts are maintained for those funds.
Let's see the transfer of money among the Senegal government. What is left for us? It's not important.
Yes, Fofana.
Yeah, I just want to make some clarification. The permanent secretary at the Ministry of Environment is saying there's no formal agreement. But you said, based on the documentation you see, there's a revenue sharing. Can you make that document available to the Fpac committee?
Okay. The reason I didn't comment on the documentation earlier when it was mentioned is because I know from OP, I have been sent through WhatsApp documentation relating to this timber proceeds. But unfortunately, I did not download it to print it so as to have copies of that so that it would support whatever I say here. When I went back to my WhatsApp messages, the person who sent it set up disappearing mode. So right now, I do not have the details on that on my phone. But like I would go back and get whatever they have sent or shared or have in custody.
But the person himself is on appearing mode, not so. The person is on appearing mode. Who sent the message? Yes. So get to the person and let's have this agreement. And on a more serious note, if you look at the expenditures, this is on 14 days. You realize that the approval for expenditures from the timber proceeds comes from the Minister of Finance, the Secretary General OP, and the Accountant General. So, sorry, I just want to learn. These are the three authorities. So, at this level, at your level, before you make any approval as the Accountant General, all the agreements, all the processes, and all the procedures must be made available to you. Why am I saying this? To some level, we wouldn't take the excuse of saying, it is OP who tells me to do this. You have an authority to serve. Not so. You have an authority to serve. And when documentations are sent to you, before they disappear, based on a default set by another party, You need to make a copy. You print it out as attachment. That's the proof you are having. Why am I saying this? He asks a very important question. That is, where is the money kept? Because if you look at section 150, subsection 1 of the Constitution, it is telling you all revenue should be kept in the consolidated account. This one goes to the below the line account. So the question will be why? Why did you put it there? The portion that belongs to the government, take that to the consolidated account. Based on the sharing ratio, which we will get the agreement, you can put that somewhere else. But why did this one go to the below the line account when the Constitution is saying otherwise?
As far as the Public Finance Act is concerned, provides for exception to funds that goes to other designated bank accounts. But to clearly comment on your issue, which is Accountant General providing authorization. To correct that, I want to say we don't provide authorization. What we do is we receive instructions to effect payment. And all I can say is that any payment that we would effect, we would have authority coming from a designated MDA to process that payment. So we will get back to you and provide you evidence of all the approvals that were sent to us to effect the payment.
Just a proposal, because this particular land we were to refer it to IGP. So now it's two. I will propose if they can fast track to provide all this documentation by tomorrow, we can review it before forwarding it to IGP. But anything later than tomorrow, we can't receive it. And we must conclude on it. No, Chairman. I'm not talking about the auditors first. I mean them. I won't reach the level of the auditors. Remember, in our correspondence, we asked the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of what? Environment. Not so. If you look at the authority and all the individuals who are what? Expending the funds received from those proceeds, you wouldn't see the Minister of Environment there. It is AP, Finance, and the Accountant General, which means we are asking the wrong authority. In her deliberations, she gave us that information for free. That's why I'm saying, the way, if at all they can provide the evidence now towards tomorrow. After tomorrow, we might not be in a position to receive it. But now against tomorrow, we should be in a position to receive it because we never asked them to provide it. So at that level, then we can engage the auditors. That will be another level. But the option to receive the evidence is what I am bringing on the table right. Thank you.
Just to also confirm something that my colleague was saying. In the Constitution, that is clear. But if you look at also subsection 2, it's also saying that, notwithstanding one, an actual national assembly may provide for the payment of particular revenue or other money into some other funded services. So the Public Finance Act actually is created, it's captured that actually can be done. So to put funds in another account different from the CRF actually is legal according to the Constitution. Actually. The first one, it says, there shall be a consolidated fund into which shall be paid A, all revenues or other money raised or received for the purpose of or on behalf of the government, and B, any money raised or received in trust for or on behalf of the government. Subsection 2, notwithstanding subsection 1, an act of the National Assembly may provide A, for the payment of a particular revenue or other money into some other fund established for a specific purpose. B, for the retention of revenue or other money by the Department of Government that receive it for the purpose of defraying the expenses of the particular department. And now when you go to the Public Finance Act, it's actually Section 12, also a receipt to be paid into the Consolidated Revenue Fund and commercial banks. Also, it actually gives some exceptions. That one, which is from the Constitution. So I think we just need to get those documentation and then.
Honorable.
Public Finance Act 2014.
Mr. Chair, can the timelines for the submission be extended to Friday, given that we are here, we don't know when we're leaving, we need to collect all the supporting documents for submission.
Three resolutions, 8, 9, and 10. We'll leave 35. And then I think we'll skip 35 and we can treat that later. Let's go to 15. And 15 is to Accountant General. Clarification from OP. Assessment by the Ministry of Works, agreement of State House and Guy Enterprise. Payment vouchers and Guy Enterprise invoice. That is resolution 7. And this is highlighted. Yeah, that means the national audit. Oh, clarification first, then national audit. Accountant General. The cover page, the summary, number 15. Yes. It's referring to resolution number 7. So we'll first hear the clarification from the Accountant General and then the national audit.
Okay, this actually was for Office of the President, and they have submitted some responses and documentation relating to that query, and you can have that on the supporting documents marked 15, 16A, and 16B, 16C, and I think D.
E is also included. 16E.
No.
That's not there.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I
So you
don't
have
think E is.
16A, B,
Up
C,
to
and D.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Yes. D.
Audit?
No.
The response is only provided explanation about the 950 contingency fee. It is clear that this was never paid to the supplier, Guy Enterprise. The contingent fee being responded to is part of the adjustment requested by GBPA to be amended prior to signing the contract. And this includes to clearly define or clarify the supervisory rules of the work, as this is not indicated in the submission. Remove the $950,000 contingency allocation from the contract. The subtotal of $55,770 is on page 2 and 11 of the bill of quantity to be added to the grand total of $17,488,155. Adjusting or not adjusting these 3 points prior to contract signing was never submitted. Response did address this resolution. So in a nutshell, we're saying that the response was did address the resolution.
The response?
It's clear now.
I don't understand.
Pardon. Yes, national audit, I've not got you right. Okay. Can you use the mic?
You refer to the report. The query initially was about the adjustments of the contract on these 3 points, and then send it back to GPPA before signing the contract. But what we realized that the contract was signed and executed without these points being addressed. I think that was the query initial. One, to clearly define the supervisory role for the works, and then 2, to remove the 950 contingency allocation, and 3, for a subtotal of 5,750 on page 2 on the bill of quantity to be added there. These were the requirements, these were the amendments GBPA had that needed to be adjusted before the contract was signed. But what we realized was that this contract was signed and executed before these amendments were made. So these amendments were never responded to, but the contract was signed and executed. That was the query initially. If you look at the 2019 report, GOTG report. We're saying it's addressed because if you look at the 950,000, it was never paid to the contractor. It was an amendment required by the GPP, but it was never paid to the contractor. So it's resolved in line with what they've explained. And our report was not questioning the 950 as a payment made to the contractor. Contrary, it was saying that OP should have addressed these points prior to signing the contract, not necessarily saying that the amount was paid to the contractor. So yes, the response is resolved, yes. Yes.
4 and 5 and 35. Earlier on, we decided to suspend 35. So we look at 4 and 5. If you look at 4 and 5, yes, 4 and 5, the two, they are not referred to the national audit for review. Honorable members, can we refer to resolution 4? The Secretary General of the Office of the President and the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Works must provide a written explanation to Fpac on or before 28 September 2020 as to why the approval for a single source procurement for rehabilitation works at the State House was sought after completion of the work. That was the first one. Mani, do you have the written explanation, week number? Yeah, I think that has connection to that one. So that was not an issue. Yes. 16E. Honorable members, yeah. Auditor, what I say?
It remain unresolved, this one. But resolution 4 is yet to be resolved.
Resolution? Yes.
We did a further work on that. You may allow.
Okay, you may read.
The response is 15 OP to 15A review. The response only provide explanation about the 950 contingency fee. It is clear that this was never paid to the supplier. However, there was no explanation about the retrospective procurement or why the approval for a single source procurement for rehabilitation works at the State House was sought after the completion of the work. The contingency fee being provided to is part of the adjustment requested by the GBPA to be amended prior to signing the contract. Therefore, responses does not address the resolution. This particular resolution was not addressed.
Does not address resolution 4. Honorable member?
Yeah, Chair, I think the auditor is up, but I will refer you to 16B. And I think this particular response have to go beyond the auditors. Look at 16B and you look at the response.
We have resolution. Do you have this provided national audit?
Was this response provided to national audit, Mr. Mane? It was provided this morning, so which means they didn't factor it in their response, huh?
Yeah, we have not later explanation to Fpac that is contained in the submissions. Resolution 4, the Secretary General and Office of the President and the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Works, must provide a written explanation to Fpac on or before 20th September as to why the approval for single source procurement for the rehabilitation works at the State House was sought after completion of the work. And the response is as follows. Following the change of administration in 2017, and the imminent relocation and settlement of the President-elect to State House in Banjul, urgent maintenance works was required for which approval was sought and authorized for a single source procurement for the rehabilitation works at State House. For the records, both the initiation and approval were sought before the completion of the work. Payment was effected after completion of the works. Effectively, the contractor pre-finance the works before receiving the payment. Fpac is also invited to refer to the response provided by the Office of the President in respect of Fpac Resolution number 7 on the maintenance work contract amount relating to reduction instructed by GPPA. But in a nutshell, this particular explanation is not provided to you. Yes, so we can do so and then you look at it.
Okay, sir.
Hmm?
Okay, Honorable.
Yeah.
With all honesty, even if the auditors look at this, they would come back and they will tell you it's not resolved. And that is the fact. Because if you look at you listen very well to the explanation, it is not giving you any justification as to why, approval was sought after granting the contract. I think this one is left to the committee to decide. If the auditors decide, they will come back to you with the same response. I'm not preempting, but that is a fact.
And you are
Because,
presuming that
because the Secretary General is taking ownership of what happened. He is telling you they accepted that, the contract commenced before the single source approval was granted. But for the records, what they are trying to buttress is both the initiation and the approval was done before the completion of what? The contract. So he's not telling you anything different from what the auditors have told you. Now it is up to us to look at their submission and see what do we do with it. This is my humble proposal. Thank you.
Yeah, that is to say they are merely confirming the position of the auditors. Honorable members, so that's the explanation we got from, is it the Secretary General? Precisely. So what's our take on the explanation?
I would take it as resolved. We were all here in 2017. And if you look at this, it's a procedural error. It's on the procedures. So you refer this to IGP, he will just go merry-go-round. Okay, there are no material losses, so I would just say it is resolved. We move. Thank you.
Any suggestion? There's no what? No, he has not concluded. Now, if you look at the resolution, emphasis is on to provide explanation as to why approval of single source procurement for approval works at State House was sought after completion of the work. So that is the explanation. Yeah. So if there is any shortcoming, we can give advice to avert any such kind of things in future. Yeah? Explanation was given, however, the committee is advising for such things not to be occurred in future. That is resolution 4. And the other one is resolution 5. That the Secretary General and Office of the President and the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Transport, Works and Infrastructure must provide a written explanation to Fpac on or before 28 September 2023 for accepting the Banjul drainage roads and sewage contract and evidence that Gaye Enterprise is the most suitable qualified contractor to carry out this project. Do you have that explanation? Week number 16C. Now let's go to 16C. The Minister of Transport, Works and Infrastructure received a letter from the Office of the President referred to OP letter reference indicated, referring to it a proposal from Guy Construction proposing an APC plus finance contract for Banjul drainage roads and civic works. As such, the Ministry of Works and relevant technical stakeholders, the Ministry of Justice and BCC, NAVI, GAMTEL, Ministry of Finance, NRA, GPA, met to review GUI's proposal, along with relevant supporting documents, including the letter of intent and the FIDIC form of contract, project technical documents, among others. Having done this, the team to the Ministry of Works submitted to the Office of President a cabinet paper justifying that GUI Enterprise is suitable and qualified contractor to carry out this project for the following reasons. 1, procurement method for the Banjul rehabilitation work was through direct single source, as provided for under S25 of the GBA Amendment Act 2018. The method is not only legitimate and widely used, and when appropriately applied, gives same outcome as other tendering methods. And 2, in this instance, the choice was informed largely by the urgency to fix the post-state and age capital infrastructure of Banjul to protect lives and properties from the high risks of cholera outbreak and flash floods. So the government needed to fix the critical ferry infrastructure and had no financial means to do so. And the EPCs plus finance form of contract offer made by the Gambia contractor GUI Enterprise or Construction Limited was considered reasonable and ideal for homegrown solution. And 4, the GUI Construction had the track record of performing satisfactorily similar works in the capital city with the benefit of experience and strong understanding of the geological environment of the city and city design. And lastly, 5, it is important to note that the Ministry of Transport and the stakeholders put together have the technical capacity to negotiate and guarantee quality assurance and fair value for money of EPC finance package, but forwarded by the GUI Construction Limited. So far, these are the explanations advanced as query by the committee. Any comment on that? And this particular one, I'm not sure, it's not referred to. Huh? It's not referred to the audit. Yes. So it's about explanation. Yeah, audit. Yeah, it's also no, not referred to audit. Yes.
Yeah, I think the explanation is further confirming the findings of the auditors. So what we need to do, I think resolution 4 and 5 are kind of linked. So here also, at our level, we need to advise OP to ensure that even with urgency, they need to follow due processes. Caution must be taken. So I think when dealing with resolution number 4, we can equally deal with number 5.
Any other suggestion? The resolution is like resolution 4 is requesting for written explanation. And the explanation advance, as we did in 4, we advise that in future the due process must be taken. As I say, we still suspend 35. Let's go to 17. That one, the PS, Ministry of Gender, supposed to provide list of projects and their responsible officials. That one is also connected to 35. They have provided. Okay, let's check where. The notes. Yeah, okay, let's still suspend that at 5. We can treat it once and for all. We go to 18. Under Topura, status update about the fine levied on jar oil without supporting documents. Resolution number 14. National audit.
14, no response was received from physical planning. Yeah, we didn't receive any response from physical planning or FIRA relating to this fine resolution.
We are happy to report that Jar Oil complied with the enforcement against them and paid all imposed fines for this violation, totaling 1,200,000 on 15th of January 2021. In addition to the paying the imposed fines, they appeal to the Minister of Petroleum under Section 7, Subsection 9 of the Petroleum Products Act 2016 for these stations. The Minister of Petroleum and Energy granted the said appeal, and they are now legally operating these stations as per the applicable law. So it's resolved.
No, we are yet to receive this letter. And probably, I think it's also important for them to tell you which bank account did they paid this money into. That 1.2 million, because they are just saying that they have paid 1.2 million. We need to see the receipts and the no. We didn't receive any response pertaining to today. No, we haven't received. We are yet to receive any.
Was it during the consideration that they provided a document, or after the consideration they provided that document? So in the payment.
Chair, I will review it and get back to you on this by tomorrow. Yes.
Has to do with the Accountant General must present to the auditors for review all unpresented payment vouchers and supporting documents amounting to $392,091.67 on or before 20th September, failure of which the IGP must launch an investigation immediately and report back to the committee within 90 days. And this one, yes, the Accountant General, from the Accountant General with the National Audit. AG?
On item number 6 of the resolution of the National Assembly on FPAC's report, in which...
Sorry, Mr. Mane, which number is that in the document? IGP, what's the number? Page number? AG?
Oh, okay.
At the top corner, right corner.
Yeah. On 21A.
21?
A.
Okay. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. On item number 6 of the resolution of the National Assembly on FPAC's report, in which we were required to present missing payment vouchers amounting to $392,091.67 butts, we wish to draw your attention to the fact that out of the $392,091.67 butts worth of payment vouchers reported as pending or presentation, only one payment voucher amounting to 20,000 is yet to be presented. The rest of the payment vouchers were subsequently presented to the and confirmed by the auditors during our engagement with the FPAC. We further further searching was done for the said payment voucher of the 20,000, but the payment voucher is yet to be traced. Therefore, in a bid to provide evidence of its validity, attestation was obtained from both the service provider and the recipient, and copies are attached for your information.
National Audit?
No responses were received relating to all unpresented payment vouchers and supporting documents amounting to 392,091. We are not provided.
National audit. Whom are you talking to?
Accountant General.
Are you talking to yourself? You go ahead.
Honorable Chair,
Hmm?
if I may read our response to this.
Yes, you can do so.
Probably we'll do an internal consultation because the Accountant General is saying that they submitted these payment vouchers. So we need to do an internal consultation first before we establish the outstanding unpresented payment vouchers.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
can I please request that you look at the updated response on the ML, that is subsequent to the additional information we provided to the auditors. That was the final ML. I mean, after the final ML, the subsequent comments, you did confirm that you received all the vouchers with the exception of the 20,000. Yes. Yes, the auditors for the comments, yes.
Which page is that? For that updated ML. Yes, I understand. Actually, which page is that? Oh, you don't have the copy with you. Okay. No, the updated ML. Hmm? You don't have the copy of the updated ML? I mean, the audit, national audit. Yeah, I do have.
We'll do an internal consultation and update you on this issue.
Okay.
Yeah.
To be updated. Okay. Honorable members, accept the resolution 35. I think we have exhausted all the points that we received reactions from. And we did agree for resolution 35.
And
We can treat that. AG?
yes,
Hmm?
you know, on that same communication of 21C,
21?
21C, you know, you had requested that we give you
Yes.
the authorization for the netting off of the 425 euros.
Yes.
On that 21C is a breakdown of how the 425 euros came about.
Hmm.
You know, because what was paid to the embassy in Dallas against what was the amount that was translated euros to be effective at the level of the central bank, and what the embassy subsequently paid to the students brought about some balances. That is how the $425 is. 425 euros came about, which is monies that are to go back to government coffers. So I thought you, because he's saying, do you have the authority to net off? This is actually government money.
So you know, say you are saying the 425 euro is the one that's supposed to go to the account of the government. From where? CS.
Yes.
Okay.
The honorable member was asking us whether we had the authority to net off. I'm just buttressing the fact that this is money that came about as a result of what was sent against what they eventually paid the students. And this is money that should come back to government.
Okay. Honorable members, We have exactly getting to 2. No, I mean getting to 2. And we've only 35, 35 to cover. Can we break or we continue, we deal with that, then tomorrow can be all for unretired interest. Unretired interest. Yeah, for this one, we are only left with 35. Whether we complete that. Right? No? No, I mean the summary for that one. We are left with 35. Whether we complete that one, and then the other one, we refer that to tomorrow. Yeah. But these are the ones where we have issues. Yeah? No, you don't get my point. Where we have reactions, we are only